Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to Fearless Generations with Terry Sayer and Kelly Fox.
Hello and welcome to Fearless Generations, 12 Steps to Freedom. I am Kelly Fox and it is season 10. We are starting all over again with step 1, awareness. And tonight is introduction night. And I'm excited to get this conversation going. So let me welcome my beautiful co-host, Terry Sayer. How are you doing tonight, Terry?
I am doing great. Thank you so much.
I am glad to hear it. So, what do you think, Terry? 10 years.
Yeah, that's a lot of years.
Well, 9 years because we're on season 10, but still pretty impressive, I think.
I'd say so. I would say so.
I'm excited to be talking about step 1. Step 1 is awareness, as I said before, and I think awareness is the obvious first step, but it really is involved in any aspect of change. You have to be aware before you can make a change, because if you're not aware, then you have no idea that a change needs to take place. But
yep.
I think that it's the level of awareness that is important, and that continues along the journey of the other steps, because your awareness continues to grow as you maneuver through the other 11 steps to freedom. So, Terry, start us off. What is your thinking around awareness? How has it played a part in your journey?
I think we talk about awareness being the foundation of change, and it's without an awareness, we just keep going, doing the same thing. And I guess the definition of insanity is doing the same thing, expecting different results. And so once you're aware that what you want is clear in your mind, and you're able to navigate your environment, your relationships in order to be able to get what you want, you just become aware, right? You become aware of the people around you. You become aware of the level of support you have from other people. You become aware of toxic situations that you may find yourself in. You become aware of your willingness to take action. You just become, when you're willing to observe your surroundings, your relationships, the things you do and say, and listen, really listen to others and to yourself, really observe your behavior and others' behavior and your surroundings, and just become aware. Sometimes I can just be totally focused on something and not even aware of what's going on around me, and somebody will say, "Did you see that?" And I said, What? I'm not even aware of my surroundings. And that's where I think the practice of breathing really comes in. The practice of what people call meditation or mindfulness, where you can sit with your, the sensations in your body, sit with your environment, and just be in a state of awareness mentally, socially, spiritually, physically, intellectually. You just be in that space and let yourself see and sense what's around you, how you're feeling, how are you interacting, how are you responding, and just really get aware of how you show up and how you take up space and what is important to you. And I think to do that takes concentration, commitment, and a mindset that's willing to take in, use your senses, use your intuition. Some people only take in things through their senses. They have to be able to touch it, smell it, taste it, feel it, hear it in order to take it in. And other people have what they call a sixth sense. And that's not like in the movie where you see dead people, but a sixth sense where their intuition helps them to be aware. They get feelings, they have intuition, they have these, I like to call it the spirit of the Holy Ghost, or spirit of God, whatever you want to call it, or just the universe, or whatever resonates with you. And that is a form of awareness not for everyone, but for some people who have that capacity or that willingness to allow intuition and inspiration to come in their lives is another way to build awareness. So you can build awareness in all those areas of your life: intellectual awareness, social awareness, physical awareness, emotional awareness, spiritual awareness. All of those areas can be heightened and navigated with more intensity and effectiveness when you're aware. So I think that's, that's just kind of what I think of when I think of awareness.
Yeah. I think that what you just said can be maybe a little daunting to someone who's just starting the process, but I hope that they see that they would see that there's more to come. That our awareness is always expanding. And I really think that is the main thing about awareness, is that it's always expanding. It's always growing. You're always learning more and becoming more aware, or going deeper, or whatever you would want to call it. As long as you are living, your awareness is going to grow. And it's up to you how expansive it is, or how far it goes. If you want to put the blinders on, you won't see as much. You'll see what's just directly in front of you, but you're still going to see something. So
I think
if you're,
too, when you think about all the different areas of our lives and our lives are, you may be extremely aware physically. I mean, some people are very aware of their bodies, and they're very conscious of what they put in their bodies, how they treat their bodies, what they eat, what they how they exercise. They are extremely aware in that one area of their life. Or maybe you're very aware in your spiritual life. So just knowing that you will have strengths. You will have areas that you are more aware of than others, and that's part of the whole process of being aware, right? Where
right.
am I aware? Where am I hyper aware in my life now, and how can I use those same strategies that I used to develop my awareness, say in my spirituality? How can I use those same strategies to develop social awareness or mental awareness? How can I do that so that I think the thing for me is that we're a whole person. We're created whole. We have all of these aspects of our lives. Each of us in unique ways have skills and talents, and some of our talents and skills are in one area, and some there's challenges. And so, again, we talk about getting out of your comfort zone, and that's what awareness can do, is to help you find out, well, where am I already really aware, and what area of my life might I want to develop that same level of awareness? So it's not that you're doing them all at once, but once we get through with this 12-month program, you're going to be whole. You're going to have all of those components, synchronized in your being, to where you can then continue to heighten and go deeper. But it's the whole person. We want to be a whole person. And sometimes it's the things outside of our comfort zone we might avoid. And so that's a great thing to be aware of, and that's a great place to be as we're starting this program over again, is where are the areas that I avoid being aware? Where are the areas that it's way out of my comfort zone? And just challenge yourself. I think the more you challenge yourself during this year of going from fear to freedom, the further you're going to get towards that freedom that you want in your life. Freedom in all those areas, and even if it's just one area and you work on one area for the whole year and you have freedom in that area, awesome. Then you can choose another area, and it's the road to freedom, the path, the journey. It can be as rigorous as you want it to be, and it can be as focused as you want it to be.
Yeah, absolutely. I think if you're starting off, it definitely would benefit you to take one area and then one aspect of that area. Keep it small. Don't overwhelm yourself. Baby steps, like we say. Just take those baby steps. And just look at it and ask yourself questions. Get curious about it. What does, use your five senses. What does it look like? What does it sound like? What does it taste like? What does it feel like? I think I missed one. But anyways, you get the idea. So, get a grasp of what is going on in that aspect. And what could you possibly change? Where do you have control? Where do you not have control? Become aware of that. What you do have control over, what would be something you would do that would cause the situation to be different. Breaking it down to the smallest piece of information and just gathering all you can is what I see as awareness. Just really breaking it down and looking at it and saying, okay, what is it about the situation that I don't like? Why do I not like it? What can I do different? What do I have control over? Do I remove myself from the situation, or can I affect it in a good way by staying? These are all questions that we can ask ourselves, and depending on the answer will depend on where you take the next step. It's a place to gather information. It's that first step in the process of really looking around and asking yourself questions, asking yourself, why is it that you just ask yourself those questions of why you do the things you do, why you don't do the things you do. You don't have to overthink it. Please don't do that. Overthinking is something that I practice not doing or refraining from. But you don't want to overthink. It doesn't really matter the why. It just matters what is. What are you currently doing, and what would you like to be doing, and how can you take baby steps to get there? That's what we want your awareness to increase around. It doesn't mean that we need to go into our past and say, well, the reason I avoid situations like this is because when I was 6, this happened. That's not what we're talking about with awareness. If that's something you need to do, go get a fabulous therapist and do that work with a professional. We want you to look at where you are right now and what you're currently doing, and how can you take one step out of your comfort zone? How can you do one thing different to start creating that momentum to create change in your life, to start stepping towards the life that you want to live, to start creating the life that you want to live, to start moving towards the direction of freedom in your life, in that situation, in that area. So, those are the thoughts coming up for me when it comes to awareness and starting this process of awareness. And for you, Terry, what do you feel is one of the main tools you use when you're thinking about awareness? Would it be meditation? Oh, we lost Terry on the call. So while we're waiting for her to come back, I will say, for me, one of the tools that I use for awareness, and I know I use these all the time, but are acknowledgments and gratitudes. They up my awareness around what it is that I'm doing every day. What are things that I am grateful for, things that are just coming forth, into my life, or what are things that I'm actively taking action on and doing. So acknowledgments and gratitudes are a huge tool for me when it comes to awareness. Welcome back, Terry. Sorry that we lost you.
Yeah, what happened? Yeah, all of a sudden I wasn't there anymore.
So the question I was asking you was, what is a tool that you use in your process of awareness?
Yeah, I think for me, one of the things I use a lot is I ask myself, is that true or am I making it up? Because that helps me to be honest with myself. I think 3 of the foundational principles of fearless living are, first, to have compassion for yourself, to be honest with yourself, and then to take personal responsibility. So I think when I'm building awareness around a specific area of my life, like right now I'm really working on, I guess it's being bold. I'm working on being bold in my business and having confidence in my business. And so a lot of times I'll think, limiting beliefs like, well, I really don't have anything worth, sharing with people, or will people really, accept me as an expert in this area? And so I start to beat myself up, and tell myself these negative beliefs. And when I stop and ask myself, well, is that really true? Or am I just making that up, and generally it is that I'm making it up, and it's not the truth. And so that helps me then to be more responsible and to then, work on that area, build my awareness about how I can be more effective. So that's an area that I'm working on, and eliminating those, being aware of those limiting beliefs, and then finding ways to let them go, let them go.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. Yeah. That is one of my favorite tools as well. It was definitely my most used tool when I started my journey in fearless living back in 2005. I used it multiple times a day, and I definitely still use it now. I can have those limiting beliefs come up as well, start doubting myself, and I think that happens to all of us. And it is a great question for you to pause and ask yourself, do I really know this? Is this, or am I possibly seeing this information through a filter, right? Am I seeing it through dirty glass, and I'm not seeing it correctly? So that is a great question to ask yourself, to up your awareness around those particular situations, or those challenges you might be having, or those things you might be saying to yourself. It's a great question to ask. Thank you for bringing that up. I was talking about how acknowledgments and gratitudes help me with my awareness. And I think that there are other tools out there, fearless living and otherwise, that can help us with our awareness, like Terry was talking about previously with meditation. For me, meditation works well when I go for a walk and I kind of talk things out, because I am a speak-to-think type person. And so as I talk, it allows me to think and let the flow of that thought process go. And so I'll go for a walk and I'll just talk about things and have really great ideas that come to me. And just better understandings around things that are going on with myself. Or sometimes I'll call up a friend and talk to them, or I have a really great community that I can just hop into a community hour and have a conversation with one of my community members. Or there's lots of different places that I can go. So where are places that you can go to talk things out or to ask for some clarity or, just share ideas and open up and be willing to possibly see things through a different filter, I think is really helpful when it comes to awareness as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that it's really awareness is going to permeate all of the steps that we talk about, because every time we introduce a new step during this year, it'll be a new awareness and how that step builds upon the previous step and how it helps you to really take those gentle steps forward, where you're having compassion for yourself and you're being honest with yourself and telling yourself the truth. And then you're taking those steps and you're moving forward. We like to call it a stretch at a time, and if you're ready to take a risk, breaking that risk down into stretches so that you can take those steps that support and move you to make the changes that you want to make. But I think paramount to the awareness step is clarity. And clarity will also build as you take these steps and as you take these the stretches and you're willing to move out of your comfort zone. But I think I gain more clarity as I take the steps. And it's not that I'm going to be clear when I get started. It's like as I take the steps and I'm willing to be aware of how I feel, my responses, reactions, as I continually am aware, that helps me build that clarity. I think clarity of what you want, clarity of whom you want to be, clarity of how you want to show up. The awareness is what helps build that clarity when you're continually asking yourself, well, how did that feel? What was my reaction to that? How did I respond? How did others respond to me? Just all of those things that are part of you that help you as you become aware of, I'm on the right step. I am feeling more clear. My goals are more clear. I am able to move with ease. The frustration is not there. The expectations aren't high. I'm really living my intentions, and I'm being aware of that so that it helps me to stay on that path.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that when we are open, we're open to being a beginner. We're open to not needing to know all the answers right now or know what the next, 20 steps are, but being okay with the next two. That we open ourselves up to possibilities, step 8, but we open ourselves up to enhance that awareness, to learn even more about ourselves, to really assess our direction and make sure that we're in alignment with where we ultimately want to go and what we ultimately want to be doing. And I think that awareness is that key to start the process of our journey to freedom. And I love sharing these steps, and I think that the reason we can do it every season is because every season we come to the step as a new person in a new situation with a new level of willingness and awareness to create change in our lives. And we love doing this podcast but you're only getting a half an hour once a week on these steps and on these principles and tools. And what we would really love to do is for you to join us in our group program called Stepping Towards Freedom. We take deeper dive into each one of these steps. We take a deeper dive into the tools. We have a very supportive and trusting environment that we create between you and the other participants. And you get to learn so much more and incorporate these steps and tools into your life so much more. And if that is something that you're interested in, I would love to have a conversation with you. Please reach out to either of us so we can set that up and get you started in this program that, right now in the first step, because that is the best place to start.
Yeah, for sure.
So if you would like to know more about that, as I was saying, please reach out to us, contact us. I would love to explain it even further, or you can find it on the website, fearlessgenerations.org, under Stepping Towards Freedom. You can go there and read all about it and then schedule an appointment to talk with me, however you want to do it. But please go check it out. The program is amazing. The transformations that we've seen have just been beyond what we first expected when we started this. And our participants just continue to amaze us. And so we would really love to offer you the opportunity for that as well. But we want to remind you all that the 12 Steps to Freedom were created by Rhonda Britton, the CEO and founder of the Fearless Living Institute. If you would like to know more about Fearless Living, please go check it out at fearlessliving.org. There's all kinds of goodness there. And as I said previously, you can find out everything about Terry and I at fearlessgenerations.org or on any social media. Well, I shouldn't say that. Not on any social media, but the main 3 social medias, LinkedIn. I'm sorry. I have the hiccup. LinkedIn, Facebook, or Instagram. We also on Pinterest, but go check us out under Fearless Generations. We are there. We have several posts a day going out on each one of these steps. So you can just be overwhelmed maybe, but you can just be take advantage of a plethora of information. There's also Terry Talks every weekday that you can listen to, 1 minute of wisdom, also on the step of the month. So we really try to give you as much information and encourage you forward as much as we can, as much as you'll let us, so that you can really integrate these steps into your life. Thank you, Terry, for being here with me tonight.
Yeah, my pleasure. It's good to get started again.
Yes, it is.
Even with the
All right,
hiccup.
everybody, we thank you.
Good night.
Thank you for being here with us. Be fearless.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Grainger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
With Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to... Has anyone seen the bride and groom?
Sorry, we're here. We were getting lucky in the limo and we lost track of time.
No, Lucky Land Casino, with cash prizes that add up quicker than a guest registry.
In that case, I pronounce you lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Daily bonuses are waiting. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.